Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. It's Colleen Suchecki here. I'm a speaker and intuitive healer with BelieveGrowShine.com, and I help people heal from past trauma so that they can live their most authentic life, discover their gifts, and live their purpose. And so what we're going to be talking about today is healing from trauma. And I want to share with you, first of all, a myth. Okay, so one of the myths that I would want to just kind of debunk right off the get-go is that old saying, time heals all wounds. All right, so that's total BS, okay? And I'm going to prove to you how that's BS, because if you have unhealed trauma in your body, it is going to be impacting your decisions right now. No matter if the trauma happened when you were 1 year old and you're 50 right now, it doesn't matter how long it's been since that trauma, but can be impacting your life right now. So here's a couple ways to know if trauma is impacting you right now. So I'm just going to kind of go like, how to know if trauma is impacting you. You don't speak your truth. Okay, you're not authentic in what you're saying. You hold back, you silence yourself out of fear of rejection, fear of wanting to have approval, wanting to be loved by other people. How to know if you have unhealed trauma? You may be experiencing health issues that cannot be solved medically by traditional medicine. So you've been going even to holistic doctors, traditional doctors, and no one seems to be able to figure out exactly what's happening with your health or be able to help you heal from it. That's one way how unhealed trauma can show up, as a health issue. And it is actually basically just a symptom. Your body's giving you a message. If you are busy, yes, hi Georgiana. If you are busy all the time, if you cannot stop and slow down, if you are constantly on the go, you are on a deeper level, in my experience, you are scared to death to stop and feel, because if you stop and feel all the feelings that will come rushing to the surface, you're afraid that you won't be able to handle it, or you're going to be so overwhelmed that you're not going to know how to move forward. And just being versus doing scares the living shit out of you. Okay, that's another way to know if you have unhealed trauma. If you have no clue what you want to do, if you're constantly in this place of uncertainty and I don't know what to do, I don't know where to go, I don't know what my next step is, that is a defense mechanism. Deep down, I'm going to guarantee you right now, I guarantee you right now, if you're in that place, you know exactly what you want to do with your life. There's just a part of you that's holding you back because you're scared to death that if you do the thing that is most authentic to you, that people are going to leave your life, you're going to fail miserably. There's that, and that comes from unhealed trauma. If you know exactly what you want to do, but aren't moving forward on it, if you're frozen in fear, if you're stuck in this constant hamster wheel of like, oh my gosh, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, but I can't. I want to do this, I want to do this, but I'm too scared. There's unhealed trauma there. You're usually in that case, you are not in a place where you are believing that you will be supported. Okay, the comfortableness, the certainty of being in your comfort zone is the most important thing to you, or at least a part of you, because because there's another part of you that is completely unhealed, that's experienced a trauma, that feels like you cannot trust life, that you cannot trust you're going to be supported. If you put yourself last. And if any of this is resonating, please give me a 1. Like, if any of the things I'm resonating, even if it's just one thing, and if it is one thing, you could, and if you want to share what it is that resonates with you, let me know. So if any of this has resonated, put a 1 in the comments. If you've put yourself last, constantly, consistently, it's like, Georgiana, what? That's a lot of ones. If you put yourself last, constantly, consistently. Everyone else is first. You don't even, like, you're not even on the list of things, okay? That's a very powerful indication there's unhealed trauma there. If you have unexplained anxiety and panic attacks, that is another indication that you have unhealed trauma. And I get this, and I do get this a lot, that people come to me, they're like, I have this anxiety, I really don't know what it's coming from, I'm getting these panic attacks. There seems to be no rhyme or reason to them. I know exactly what that feels like. I know exactly what that feels like. I was there 10 years ago. No, sorry, 8 years ago. Sorry, in 2010, I was there. And that was unhealed trauma coming to the surface. But if you don't stop long enough and go within to explore what's coming up, you're just going to continue in the cycle of anxiety and panic. If you've been playing small and hiding, okay? Yeah. If you've been playing small and hiding, you know you have unhealed trauma, because you've learned from some past experience that you cannot show up as your true self and be loved. Okay? So if you've had that experience, let me know. So here's the thing, is that all these experiences, all these examples I'm listing here are ways, or if you've stayed in a relationship that's long overdue, like it's run its course, it's like, I've outgrown this relationship, it's long overdue, and you're still there. This is not coming from judgment or criticism. I'm not meaning at all to come from that place. This is awareness. This is awareness to say, okay, if any of these scenarios are playing out in my life, it's time to go within, if you choose, and really look at what is happening in your life right now. What has happened in the past that is causing you to stay small, that's causing you to hide, that's causing you to stay in a relationship that's no longer really serving you. So here's the thing, is that in every one of these scenarios, hi Casey, in every one of these scenarios, when I'm working one-on-one with someone, I can always trace back something that's happening right now with an unhealed past trauma. Okay? Every single time I can go back, and here's what I found. So yes, Prudence. So here's what I found, is that whether you had lost a loved one, whether you had gone through a divorce with your parents, whether you were bullied, whether you felt abandoned, whether you were abandoned, all these traumas, every time we experience a trauma, we make a meaning about it. We subconsciously, this is not something we consciously do, especially when we're really little. We create a story about it. Hi, Rana. We create a story about it that we buy into. So here are some common stories. These are like the top ones that I see very, very often. I'm not good enough. I'm unlovable. I deserve to be punished. I don't deserve good things in my life. I can't trust that life will support me or God will support me. Those are the most common stories that I see that we create within us, and then we're buying into those stories without even realizing it. And then fast forward however many years, and we come to the present moment right now, those stories are still playing out. If you're still playing small, if you're still staying in a relationship, if you're still not speaking your truth, if you're still suffering with a health issue that no one can solve, all these things are indications that there is an unhealed trauma that wants to be healed, that is coming to the surface. So and I want to share an example of, in my own personal life, what I realized. But I also, before that, I want to get to the second myth that I want to debunk, which is that it takes years to heal from trauma. Nope. It's BS. It's BS. And so many of the clients that I've had, the majority, actually probably 95% of the women that I work with, 95% of them have gone through therapy at some point in their life. And I am not at all saying this to trash therapy at all. Therapy, I believe therapy and counseling can be a wonderful, 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 very powerful thing. But what I've also found is that people that go through that experience and end up feel like they're still talking about the same things over and over again and not moving forward in their life, they need something different. Okay, they need something different, and that is what I have to offer. That is what my gift is because I have the tools, the expertise, the personal real life experience of being able to move through these past traumas in lightning speed, like faster than you can even imagine. Worthiness issues, feeling like you're unlovable, constantly bringing in relationships where people don't honor and value you. Those things can be worked through and you can move forward faster than you ever even thought possible, because I've experienced it personally and I've seen it time and time again with the women and people and some men. I have worked with some men too that I've worked with, is being able to heal those stories, being able to rewrite those stories and create a new empowered meaning, not intellectually. We're not intellectually sitting here saying, oh yes, you're lovable, because guess what? Like that, if that shit worked, you wouldn't be making any of these choices right now. I'm not talking about intellectually believing you're worthy or you're lovable or you deserve good things. I'm talking about owning it in your body, in your soul, feeling it from the depths of your being that you are here for a purpose and that you matter, and that and unhooking from anyone else having to prove you matter, unhooking from anyone else having to give you approval in your life. So that's what my experience is too, is that it doesn't have to take years. It can happen. I mean, I consistently hear from my clients, I cannot believe how quickly things have changed in such a short period of time. That is one of the most consistent things I hear. So my story, I'm just going to share a quick version of how I realized there was still unhealed trauma that was coming up to be released, was when I had left chiropractic in 2012 and I started putting myself out into the world. I think I first said, like, I help you with anxiety. And then I went into all these other versions of helping people in their business and helping people do speaking and all these things. It was me hiding. It was me playing small. The most truest and authentic way that I can help people is from healing from trauma. That is what I know right now in my life. I was put on this earth to do because of what I've experienced. And I won't go into a big story because I know a lot of you have heard this, but I've healed from childhood sexual abuse where I had not even remembered I even experienced that until 8 years ago. So there's my dad died when I was 3. I've had abusive relationships in the past. I've had a lot of experience with trauma and how it impacts you. And like this, it's like a silent killer. Because when you buy into the story that you're worthless or that you're unlovable or that you're not good enough, you are going to be making choices and you are going to be in relationships with people that do not value you, that really don't honor or respect you. So I know right now, this is like my most truest, authentic version of myself is to put out into the world that I help people heal from trauma. And I had skirted around that for years. I had skirted around that. Like, even if you ask the people I had worked with, back 3-4 years ago, I was always in this constant search of, how can I put myself out in the world? Like, what's my most truest and authentic piece? And what it really, like, I kept searching outside of myself. Please tell me, people. But actually, it was about me coming home to who I am and me honoring myself and really showing up as my true self and sharing that with the world. And because you know what, like, it's really vulnerable to put yourself out there that way, right? Like, it's easy if you put yourself out there as something that's not really authentic to you and then you fail, you're like, that's okay. But like when you lay your heart on the line, like when you're all in and you lay yourself out there like that, holy shit, is that vulnerable? If anyone's ever done that, like if anyone resonates, oh, I'm not doing cards today, Amanda. If anyone resonates with what I'm saying, like give me some hearts or loves or whatever. And if anyone feels like they feel inspired to share this video, if you know of people in your life that maybe are healing, needing to heal from trauma, I always am so grateful for people that share my videos. Oh, no problem. No problem, Amanda. So here's the thing is that when I realized, nice. So when I realized, like, I was still playing small because I was like, I was afraid of being rejected. I was afraid of what people would think if I come out and say that I'm like helping people heal from trauma. Like that felt really scary and I wasn't trusting life. And so when I went through and I recognized where that story was coming from and did the healing work that I needed to do, then it was like, okay, I can show up as my most authentic self and I can put this out there in the world knowing that I'm not for everyone, right? Like everyone who's watching this is not, I'm not a good fit for, and that's okay. But I know that there are people that are watching this right now that have been praying for what I have to offer. So what I feel inspired to offer is 3 spots for one-on-one work together. This is not for the faint of heart. Again, this is not for everyone. This is for you. Like if you are in a place where you are ready to make massive changes in your life, even if you're scared to death, even if you are so scared, but you know there's this part of you that is calling for something deeper, for calling for you to show up authentically, calling for you to be able to speak your truth, to be able to take those huge leaps and risks in your life, but you haven't been able to, or calling for you to be able to leave that relationship that you've been stuck in or you felt stuck in, or to leave that job that you're stuck in or you felt stuck in. If you're in that place, if you are 100% committed where you're like, I would rather die right now than continue living my life playing small, hiding, wearing all these masks that are not true for me, then I want you to, you can put a 4 in the comment or you can private message me. It's a 6-month program. It's an investment. It's an investment. And if you're committed, I know because of past results from my clients that have been committed that what can shift, like I said, in a short period of time will blow your mind. It will blow your mind. If you know that there are some healing, there's some healing that needs to be done that you have not been able to shift or change on your own or with going through therapy, then I would love to have a conversation with you. So, like I said, it's 6-month one-on-one work together. We're going to go deep. I go deep. So there is going to be no hiding. There is going to be no avoiding. Like this is going to be like facing your fears, facing your stuff head on. And the courage that it takes to do that will, again, it will blow your mind what is possible in your life when you're able to do that. So if you're interested, send me a message or you can comment, I'm interested here, and I'll reach out to you. But again, this is not for everyone, okay? This is not for everyone. And I just want to know, well, I want you to know that I am a living example of what can happen when you heal from trauma. I mean, I've been in the darkest of darkest places, suicidal thoughts, depression, constant stress, anxiety, panic attacks, questioning if like moving forward in my life, being alive was even something I wanted to do. I've been there. I've been there before. I know exactly how that feels, and I know what needs to happen in order for you to be able to move forward, in order for you to be able to know that you are worthy, to know that you're lovable, not again intellectually, but from a place so deep inside of you that you can't help to make choices that reflect that, to reflect who you really are. So that's all I have to share for today. Again, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. if you feel inspired to share this with someone, I've had a lot of people lately saying, oh my gosh, I need to connect you with my mom. I need to connect you with my sister. I need to connect you with my friend. If you're feeling that call, then I really encourage you to share this video with them and just present the opportunity. I am so grateful for all of you who have watched today, and I will be back on Wednesday for the angel card readings at noon. All right, everyone, have a great rest of the day.